Remember that. Now, I had a debate that I wasn't treated properly on. So what I did is I said, you know, you have to treat properly. You have to treat people properly. And I wasn't treated properly. And that's okay. I mean, I've been there before, right? But what I did is I said, I'm going to have a little event, not a competing event, and it wasn't a big deal. And I had no idea how well it was going to turn out. So we had a 700-seat theater about 5 minutes away from where the debate was. And we had it for veterans. We had an event for veterans. And at that event, thank you. And the sad part is, if I was in that debate, it didn't do very well. It had 12 million people. The one that I was in, the first one, had almost 25 million people. And that was an all-time record in the history of cable television. And honestly, if we had, and very importantly, if I was there, we would have broken that record. But much more importantly, by not doing it, we have to defend ourselves and we have to defend our country. If you have a president, you have to have a president that's going to defend your country more so than even himself or herself. I mean, has to happen. So I had a competing event, and we did it for veterans, because the veterans in this country have been treated so horribly. They've been treated so badly. And we raised in 1 hour, listen to this one, $6 million, okay? And I'm not going to talk about polls today because, frankly, the polls today we have our ultimate poll, so I don't have to talk about polls. But the one that just came out in New Hampshire has us way, way up because of the debate, because of what I did. People respected that we don't take the stuff from people that, you know, shouldn't be treating us that way, and they respected it. And I think they also liked the fact that we didn't just not do it. We did something that benefits so many people, and in this case, the great veterans and veterans' causes. And so we've given away, I raised $6. I have so many friends. Carl Icahn, who you don't know, but he's a great businessman. He put up $500,000. Phil Ruffin, a great businessman from Las Vegas, put up $1 million. The great Ike Perlmutter and Laurie Perlmutter, they put up $1 million. Marvel Entertainment, what they did is incredible. The Marvel, you know, they make all the great movies. I think he's got 5 of the top 10 grossing movies of all time. He's one of the great people, and they are an amazing couple. And they put up $1 million, and I put up $1 million. And the bottom line is 1 hour, $6 million. And that evening was so beautiful. We had a veteran that came in, lost his leg, and he gave a speech, a talk, and about coming back and how tough it was to come back from the Middle East and all of a sudden be in society again, and how difficult it was and how difficult it is for veterans generally. And we have today one of our first recipients, Americans for Independent Living. And we have Arnold and Tim, and they're here now to pick up a check for $100,000. It's one we're going to give about 22 or 24 checks out. And they've all been vetted. They've all been, the vets have been vetted. Because what we've done is we want to make sure that these people that get these checks are amazing people, amazing people. And Arnold and Tim, if you come up, we're going to give you a nice, beautiful check. And they've done an incredible job. I don't want to be in the middle. Just give a couple of minutes worth of what do you do, because I know, but they don't know. Go ahead.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Tim with Americans for Independent Living, a new organization here in the Waterloo area. We're here to help our veterans that have returned home since 9/11 that have suffered major disabilities. And we're looking to do the home modifications as much as we can to help them out that way so they can make a house a home like the rest of us live in, and enjoy life instead of struggling with the challenges that they've come up with, and protecting us and giving us our right to do what we do. So this is what we're here for. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
See you in the White House. He said, we'll see you in the White House. That's nice. I like him. No, these people are amazing. I mean, they devote their lives to it. And we were very careful because, you know, you have some people that don't do as good a job, and we say, let somebody else help them. But some of the people that we're giving this money to, you know, they're incredible people. And such an honor to be in a country with people like this. And they really care. I mean, that's what they want. They want to help people. And so we're very happy to be able to help them. Also, I have a couple of special people I'm going to introduce because I see them standing in the back wings. My wife, Melania, who's been so supportive. Come on up, honey. So supportive. Come on, honey. And my daughter, thank you. Look at her. And my daughter, Ivanka, and her husband, Jared. Come on up. And Jared's a very successful man from New York. He's done a fantastic job, creates a lot of housing for people and real estate. And Ivanka's Ivanka. We know Ivanka, right? And she's going to have a baby perhaps in 10 minutes or a week or 2 weeks or something, but we're ready. You know the joke. It's been going on around. I said, please, please have your baby in Iowa. I would not lose this. It's no way I could lose. We're all prepared. We even have a place picked out, but, you know, perhaps that won't happen. But I just want to thank you all for being here. Ivanka, you want to say a word for a second? Come on.
It has been such a pleasure to be here for the last several days with my father, going around and meeting the amazing people of Iowa. The reception has been so warm, and I think that's in part because my father's really created a movement. With all of your help, people want to see change, and he's going to effectuate that change. It's been what he's done his whole life. So my father will undoubtedly make America great again, and we appreciate your support. So come out tonight, 7 o'clock in Caucus for Donald J. Trump. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Oh, nice family is always the best thing. You know that, right? People say I talk on success, and no, but it's true. I talk so much on success where they ask me, would you make a speech on success? I give a lot of money to charity, talking about success, and we get these big, big crowds, and people say, what is it like? I say, let me tell you, the most important thing is family. It's really true. I've seen the most successful people in the world. I deal with them. Some of them are giving me money for the vets. But I deal with them all the time, and they have tremendous money, and they've done a tremendous job, and they put to, you know, working lots of jobs, lots of education for families and hospitalization and all sorts of things. But when you have great family life, you have a wife and family that you love, or you have a husband that you love with your family, it's honestly, those are the people that I see that are the most successful people. Some of the people that have made this vast sum of money have, and not all, but some of them are actually not happy at all. And so when you say, who's the successful person, somebody that's really happy because of the family and because of whatever, and or somebody that's made, you know, billions of dollars and does not feel so great about themselves and is always wanting more, more, more. You know, it's like an interesting thing. But the happiest people I've seen are the people with a great family life. And by the way, believing in God, so important. And I've seen that so much. So important. So important. And I have to tell you, you know, I've been in Iowa now for a long time. We've made many, many trips here, many, many stops, and I've gotten to know many people. The evangelicals have been unbelievable to Donald Trump. They have been unbelievable. Boy, do they understand me. They understand me better than anybody. I said that this morning to somebody. I said, I think the evangelicals really do get me. But we're going to protect so many things. We're going to protect our country. We're going to protect Christianity. You know, Christianity is under siege, folks. It's under siege. And we're going to protect it. And you know, Jerry Falwell was here yesterday. Jerry Falwell, Jr., who's an amazing guy. He built with his father Liberty University. And I was there 2 weeks ago, and we set a record in terms of attendance. But he's seen everybody come through Liberty because each one of the candidates automatically, it's like an automatic stop. And I guess every single candidate went through. And when he endorsed me, as a person he endorsed me, that was one of the great compliments that I could have had because he knows them all. He sees them all. Not an easy thing for him to do. He doesn't do that. I think this is the first time. So when he came out and did that, to me, that was a great compliment. And I think it had a huge impact, frankly, because our numbers with evangelicals, they were good before, but they went shooting through the roof. So a combination of Jerry and Sarah Palin, who is a terrific person and a terrific woman, she came out and endorsed us, and that was so nice and so great. And I think that had an impact. And on the border, who's better than Sheriff Joe of Arizona, right? You know, all of these people are fighting and fighting and fighting and trying to say they're the right. It's very interesting because we're going to have a lot of things. We're going to do things that have not been done. I mean, we're going to build that wall. It's going to be a beautiful, big, strong, powerful wall. And people are going to come through, but they're going to come through legally. Legally. They're coming through the wall legally. And that's the way it is. And it's going to be a great thing, and it's going to be wonderful to have a border. We're going to have a border. And we are going to, you know who's paying for the wall. Mexico's paying for the wall, okay? I won't put you through the exit. Who's paying for the wall? Everybody knows, and they're going to. And the other candidates come up, and they say, why is Mexico paying? How can you do that? They're not going to pay for the wall. I say, of course they are. They make so much money off the United States in terms of trade deficits and trade. The numbers are astronomical. I'm not even including the drug traffic, which probably triples it. You know, the drugs come over. So we get the drugs, they get the cash. This is the way. They have trucks. They drive right over there. You ever see the walls where they have a wall this high and they build a little ramp? I don't even know why they build a ramp there. They just bulldoze it and just drive straight. You don't need a ramp. I don't know why they do that. I guess they don't want to hurt the wall. But they build a ramp, and they have Jeeps, and they have these vehicles driving right over. It's the most incredible. I think it was in Time magazine, a picture of these vehicles driving over, loaded up with drugs. And we get the drugs, and you look at some places like New Hampshire, our next stop is New Hampshire. They have a drug problem that you wouldn't believe, and you wouldn't think of that for New Hampshire. It all comes from that southern border, and they have an amazing problem up there in many of the New England states, but, I mean, our country as a whole. So they come up, and they come pouring across, and they come back with the cash. We're going to stop it, because this wall's not going to be a wall you're going to drive over. See that ceiling? That ceiling's peanuts compared to what we're talking about, okay? This is a real wall. This is a wall, if they ever get up there, they're not coming down because they're going to say, wow, it's a problem. And I get a kick out of these people say, you know, they come out and they say the walls don't work. Walls don't work. I mean, the walls they build don't work. You ever see these things? They're like making it out of paper mache. No, this is the real deal, okay? This is going to be, I know exactly what it's going to look like already. That's what I do. I really build good. Wouldn't it be nice to have a real builder? What I do best in life is build. You know, I built these buildings that are so great, whether you look, no matter where you look, whether you go to Chicago or New York or anywhere. I mean, right now we have buildings going up all over the world. Doing this is actually tough because I love what I do so much. But with Ivanka, Don, Eric, my executives, I have great executives. I built a great, great company, a powerful company, very low debt, tremendous cash flow. I would have never believed it 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Tremendous cash flow, some of the greatest assets in the world. And then I filed the papers, and everyone said, wow, because I'm a private company. They said, he's much bigger than anyone ever understood. And I've got rave reviews on it from a financial standpoint, and I say it not in a braggadocious way. That's the kind of thinking we need in this country, because we have people that don't know what they're doing. We have people that don't know what they're doing. We have $19 trillion. You know, $1 trillion? Most people don't even know what it means to say $1 trillion. This wasn't a word that was in the vocabulary 10 years ago. And now we have $19 trillion worth of debt, when you think of that. Now, the budget they just approved 2 weeks ago, which I don't know. I mean, a lot of you are shaking your heads. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Thing got done in like two days. Not even 2 days. It was like a few hours. Most people didn't even know they were talking about a budget. And that budget funds everything for Obama. You know, Obama's a terrible negotiator, except when it comes to negotiating against the Republicans. You ever notice? And I'm not angry. I'm not even angry. You give up with this stuff. Obama, who cares? I'm not angry at the Democrats because we understand where they're coming from. I'm angry at the Republicans because the Republicans roll over and they just allow all of this stuff to take place. And then they talk about, we're going to try and balance our budget in 25 years. 25 years? Why 25 years? We're getting rid of a lot of things. As an example, Common Core is dead. It's gone. Common Core is gone. Our Second Amendment, we are going to fight so that is not going to be chipped away at. You know, they're chipping away at your Second Amendment. And pretty soon, if it's up to some people, you won't have a Second Amendment. You know, a couple of things have happened, pretty big things, I'll tell you. Paris, remember California, same thing. Not as great from the standpoint we lost 14 great American people in Paris. What happened there, what happened in California, just think of this.